So, you're wanting to try out Commander and flying is the only keyword you know? You don't really understand the colour pie or why everyone else at the LGS is giving you the stink eye for bringing out your Azorius deck. But you know that birds are cool and definitely not government spy drones. Definitely. You start playing and you realise all too quickly that the people are targeting you and you don't know why, but you're enjoying being able to hit basically anyone with impunity from the air. You've got the taste now, the power of blue and the righteousness of white. It feels good to throw a wrench into everyone else's works from on high. But you quickly realise that the deck can't do all that it promises. And while it's fun to make people dodge wrenches, it's actually more fun to win. So you're looking to upgrade. That's what we're doing here at Nerds of the West with this series. We're taking starter decks and taking them to greater heights. Well, standard pre-con levels of heights. Each person has grabbed a deck, we've tested them with a few games and a few rounds, and found their weaknesses. We've all been given the same budget to upgrade, and with one stipulation only, we cannot change the commander. Then, we're all going to get back together and play to see who really is the deck master. The biggest issue with this deck so far is there is too much focus on single target removal and not enough focus on ways to actually win the game. My modern loving brain loves a good counterspell, but running 3 of them in Commander with a lack of card draw options just leads to a bad time and being overrun by others' creatures. And because I didn't want to spend an exorbitant amount of money on the best Azorius creatures myself, I focused on ways to outlast, outmaneuver, and outplay my opponents with board wipes, life gain, and control. This isn't full stacks, but it's not a bad starting point if you're just new to MTG. We've packed a few board wipes to make sure we can hit all the annoying enchantments and pesky artifacts and of course those creatures that our opponents play. Dismantling Wave is either a nice early spell or a great board wipe that also draws us a card. Austere Command gives us the choice of how to go about ending the game and also leaves the option for us to preserve our big creatures of our own. Mu Yanling, Palliation Accord, and Prav Spires of Order will also help slow down that incoming damage and make sure that our opponents must think twice before using their limited resources to take our things down. Avacyn, of course, makes an appearance to do a very similar thing, but also lets us prevent some of the damage to our precious creatures. Both Sun Droplet and Spirit Link will help us gain some of that life back and round off what damage does get through. The way Spirit Link is worded is actually quite interesting. It's technically not lifelink, even though it may look so at first glance. What this means is that if an opponent has a huge creature and we slap our Spirit Link on that bad boy, we'll be taking full advantage of all the damage that it does. We're always going to be a little behind the pack in terms of life, so Sunset Revelry will help us catch up for cheap, along with drawing some cards. Benevolent Offering does a very similar thing, but also works as a great political tool. Approach of the Second Sun is the perfect alt-win con for our deck. If we can stall out and draw some cards, and cast this bad boy twice, the game is ours. Plus, Life Gain is just a really fun sub-game to explore. And to really make use of that sub-theme, and to draw those 7 cards for Approach, I spent about 1/3 of my budget on Alhammarret's Archive. Oh boy. This card does so much work and is one of my all-time favourites. It's costed just right and does everything we want it to do. It's going to be a prime target for removal, so we've also added Razor Hippogriff to make sure we can always pull it back from the graveyard. And that being said, Alhammarret's Archive can put a chokehold on the game and will usually cast it only when I know it's going to be protected. So that's my list of upgrades for First Flight. 14 cards for about 40 Australian dollars, just to bring it up to pre-con power levels. I still can't believe Alhammarret's Archive costs so much, and if you think it sounds fun, I would highly recommend picking it up and playing around for yourself. The deck list, the upgrades, and the cut list are all in the description below, and you can also watch our gameplay streams, both the before and after of which are up on YouTube for you to enjoy. My name is Chris from Nerds of the West, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.